Today's date is August 18th, 2009. The time is 3:38 p.m. This is Lieutenant Patterson of the College Park Police Department, and in the office with me is Captain Linda Burke of the College Park Police Department and Officer Alicia Parkes of the College Park Police Department, and we're going to be discussing a complaint made by Miss Danielle Cutter against Officer Parkes. Officer Parkes, Captain Burke is going to start off with some questions, and she'll have some follow-up questions as we proceed, okay?
Officer Parkes, what is the nature of yours and Officer White's relationship?
We used to date.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. We used to date
When did you quit dating?
2 to 3 weeks ago, and we only dated for not even 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Why were you at his house last night?
I went to use the restroom. I had only been there one time when he first got the key, and he said, hey, come check out my apartment. I went to go see it, left. I have not been there up until last night. I finished the call. I was on rugby. He called me. I had some curtains to give to him because he just got the apartment. It's bare. I had extras. I said, hey, can I use the bathroom and drop off these curtains for you? He said, that's fine. So that's why I went to use the restroom.
Okay. How long were you there?
But when I was going to leave, let me see.
No, how long were you there?
Throughout the whole thing, probably, I want to say 20 minutes.
Okay. You just answered my other question. Do you frequently go to his apartment while you're working?
No, I had only gone there just to use the restroom. Usually I come to 35. I was right there on rugby. I had his things to give to him, and I said, hey, can I use the bathroom? That was it.
Okay. Were you walking his dog last night?
She had to use the restroom. Well, the dog had to use the bathroom, so I said, hey, I'm about to leave. After I use the restroom, said I'm about to leave, the dog needs to go, I'm going to take her out real quick. When I was taking her back upstairs, that's when that female was there.
Okay. So you did come in contact with Danielle Cutter while at his apartment?
Yes.
Okay, what resulted as a result of your contact? What happened?
When I was taking the dog upstairs, actually I had seen a female. She and I don't even know each other. I saw the female. I have seen a picture of her in the past, and I looked at her. She looked familiar. He and I were friends from before, so I've seen pictures of whatever female friends he's had. I continued to take the dog.
Did you say anything to her?
No. I continued with the dog, took the dog back upstairs. By the time I go and knock on his door, actually no, I saw her going in. I went up and I knocked on the door because I was taking the dog upstairs, and he opens it up and he's bug-eyed, and he was like, oh my God, my ex is here. I don't know what she's doing. I was like, well, what's she doing here? It was just like, well, what's she doing here? He was like, I told her to leave. He was just more like, I'm telling this girl to leave and she won't leave. Now, I had my toiletries. When I went to use this bathroom, I took all my toiletries with me. So my things were still in there. So I'm just like, yo, whatever. So I'm going to where my things were, which was in his bedroom, like on I think it was an ironing board, because I had left the stuff there. When I'm going in there, she's in the room, and actually he and I had to exchange a few words before I was going back there.
And what'd you say?
I was like, well, how does she know? Because I don't know what the situation was with him and her. All I know is ex-girlfriend. She's here. I told her to leave. She's not leaving, basically.
Okay, and you're also an ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm just like, he was like, I told her to leave. She's not leaving. I didn't know that during this, he and I just started speaking about a week ago. He was trying to get back with me. He didn't outright say it, but those were his intentions. Up until last night, I didn't know that. We were just cool on speaking terms. He expressed certain feelings to me, and I knew how he felt, but that's as far as it went. Me going to use the bathroom was just me going to use the bathroom. So being that he was saying he's been telling her to leave, I figured, okay, let me try to de-escalate. I stood at the door. I said, excuse me, Danielle. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't yell at her. I wasn't aggressive to her in any way. I said, I think it's not verbatim, but basically I said, he's asking you to leave. I think it's best that you leave. She had some kind of like book or something that she was just throwing things. She turns around. She starts cursing me out. She didn't know who I was. And next thing I know, she starts coming at me with her fist like this. So I grabbed her and pushed her off me. And at that point, I don't know when he came in the room, and he grabbed me and moved me, and then she came around this side, and at that point I was going in the living room to leave. He was telling me to wait and still telling her to leave, and she still kept going on and going on and going on. At some point she leaves. The door was open. I was proceeding to leave as well. He asked me to stop so he could explain or whatever. I don't know if I closed the door, but it wasn't locked, or he closed it, but the door was closed at some point. But before I closed the door, since I was at the entryway, I heard her car screeching. So I looked out and I see her like trying to bust a U-turn or something in the parking lot. I just left it alone. He's there. He's talking to me. He's explaining or whatever. I'm listening. I'm getting ready to leave again. And when I'm pulling open the door, she had come up the steps and was knocking at the same time. So I had opened up the door and I was closer to, because it comes in this way. She tried to push past me. So I turned and I was standing at the wall, and she asked him whatever she had to ask him. He set her straight. She got upset and then threatened to pepper spray me. At that point, when she said that, I said, "What?" She had keys or something in her hand and she was doing this. So I know I went for mine, because I'm like, what is going on here? Because I'm saying to him, you and this girl have broken up from how long ago? You're not in contact with her. Me and you split up. We're amicable. So how the hell does she, how does she just pop up here? And he's just like, she just popped up. He said he doesn't know how she got in the gate. And I'm just looking at him like, yeah, okay. Like, she just walks up in here. And then he started explaining certain things, and I was just like, right. And that was the gist of it. She ended up storming out, and she left, and then I left and went back on duty.
Did you put your hands around her throat at any time?
No. I pushed her back like this. Like, when she came with her fist like this, body? I don't even know. She's a little bit taller than me, and things were happening so fast, it would have been here. Like, I pushed her like this because I had this arm, and she was coming at, and I pushed her. Yeah, I did. Okay. But that's as far as it went.
Did she put her hands on you?
I don't even think she caught me, but her hands came at me. She was doing like this thing. Okay. That's how she came at me.
Okay. If you put her hands on you, if you put your hands on her, why did you not arrest her? Why didn't you fill out a use of force?
I didn't know to fill out a use of force. I just figured.
Why didn't you call your supervisors?
I don't know. I figured, I spoke to him. I was done with it. I should have, and I didn't.
If she tried to assault you, and you had to put your hands on her, what is the policy in this department?
Effect an arrest.
Correct. And if you put your hands on them, what else is the policy?
I guess notify a supervisor.
And fill out a use of force. And you did none of that, correct?
Correct, but out of ignorance. Out of ignorance.
Were you not given an SOP when you came to work here?
Yes, but unfortunately I have not read the entire thing, so that's my ignorance.
That's correct.
That's my ignorance.
Did you ever call, or did you ever say to her, "Bitch, I will shoot you"?
No.
You never said that?
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not.
Did you ever put your hand on your gun?
Probably. Instinctively, probably. But no, nothing was pulled or drawn, no. But me personally, that would have been, when I reached for my pepper spray, I probably did like this. That's just something I normally do, but when I reached for my pepper spray, I didn't open it or anything.
Did you have it out?
No, nothing came out. Okay. Nothing came out. Wesley took my hands like this. He was like, "Yo, just chill." And he kept telling her, "You need to leave."
Why would he tell you to do that?
Because I reached for my pepper spray. Because after she threatened to pepper spray me, when I was standing there not even saying anything to her, and he let her know, there is nothing with me and you. And I could tell based on how she was talking and how their argument was going back and forth, that I don't know if he led her on in some kind of way, but it's over with the two of them based on what she was saying and how she was trying to come up. Whatever the case may be, it was obvious he was playing both sides of the fence. Whatever he was trying to do, he and I were not communicating for like a week and change after we broke up. He contacted me, started making small talk. That's all. He sent me a text message explaining how he felt. We started just speaking just amicably since last week, Tuesday, I would say. But from the time we split up, we were not communicating, except for when he had to get his dog's things from my house. And that was when I brought the cage here, and then he met me in the parking lot and got his dogs and whatever stuff he had at my house. That was it. We were not communicating like that at all, except for that. And then a week later, that's when, he contacted me or whatever. And
okay, did you speak with Wesley since the incident?
Of course, yeah.
And what'd y'all say?
It was just a matter of, what's going on. He tried to explain it to me. It was a couple of hours after I left. He denied anything going on with him and her and told me how he felt. We got off the phone. Then this morning when I woke up, I called him, and he told me that her sister called him saying that she was going to file a complaint against him. And he was like, he didn't say anything to her. She was just venting and saying that Danielle said that he choked her.
Did it not occur to you at any time to call supervisor, to tell somebody what had happened?
It did, but then I didn't. I'm sorry. It's my ignorance. I know that's my fault.
You're on duty, in uniform, fixing to pull some spray out on somebody. No.
When she was coming at you with her arms flailing, did you say you grabbed her one arm and you pushed her off with the other? Did Wesley step in at some point? Did he try to intervene?
Yeah, he grabbed me. Yeah, he did.
My question is, if it was her that was the aggressor, why would he grab you?
I don't know. According to him, he figured, I guess based on how he is, he figured that I probably would have hurt her. I don't know. But he grabbed me because I asked him that. And he was like, Danielle can't fight. And I'm like, okay. No, he said, she can fight, you can't. And then he explained it like, you were in uniform or whatever. I mean, I did speak.
Explain what he explained.
He just said, she can fight, you can't. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, she's there. Yeah, I told her to leave, but, you got all this stuff on, and then you never know what she's going to say. So he figured, let me grab me, because he knew that if it was going to get into something else, I would have hurt her. That was his whole thought process.
You would have hurt her?
I don't know. I don't know how she's as a person. All I know is a police officer is there nicely saying she doesn't know who I am. It's in your best interest to leave, and she would just come swinging at me, not knowing if he and I were in an intimate relationship.
Let me ask you this. Wesley told us that he never once asked her to leave.
That's a lie.
That's what he said.
That's what he said when I first.
He said he kept asking her, what
was she doing here?
What are you doing here?
No, he did say that at one point, but he kept telling her to leave. Yes, he did. He kept telling her to leave.
He didn't. And my question is, why did you take it upon yourself to tell her to leave? That was not your apartment. You really had no business there. Why did you tell her to leave?
Because he told her to leave. He didn't know why he was like, my sister, I don't know how she got in here. I don't know how she got in. I don't know why she's here. Because he told me that. And I'm thinking, okay.
He told us he never told her to leave.
He told me he did.
Okay. But he's grown, and he can tell somebody to leave if he wants them to leave. I just want to know why you felt so passionately to intervene on his behalf to try and make somebody leave his house in a residence that you don't live. You're not together with him. Why? Why did that happen?
I was helping out a friend. I mean, he said he was in shock. I mean, like I did tell you, I
think he was more in shock that the two of y'all were there at the same time. That's what I think he was more in shock about.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I know that, but...
Not that he desperately wanted her to leave.
I mean, the relationship he and I had, like I said, when we stopped speaking, it was for valid reasons. And when he expressed what he expressed to me last week, yeah, it came out that he did lie to me, because he told, the text message that he sent me was he realizes the things that I said, and he mentioned that he had spoken to her, but he lied and said it was like over the phone because he wanted validation for the problems that I had with him as a person. He told me he spoke to her verbally. Apparently, it wasn't verbally. It was in person. That's why I was like, well, how does she know what is she doing here? You know, I'm just like, well, how did she get in? He's like, I don't know. He was like, I wasn't expecting her. I didn't invite her over here. He told her to leave, and she wasn't leaving.
Okay, but it's not your house.
I know. I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's the emotions mixed up in it. Maybe it was just everything. I mean, me and the guy were seeing each other. We had a decent relationship.
He and her were, too.
Before me. And I believed him when he said they were done. According to him, no. According to her, yeah. And I just stood there like, y'all two need to figure this out. And he told her...
At any point, did you feel like you need not to be there and leave?
That's when I was trying to leave. And he told me to wait and told her to step outside. Yeah, he told me to wait. He told me to stay.
But you're grown. You're working. You were not on the 86 over there. You were not out on the 18 over there. You were over there for over 50 minutes.
15.
50.
50?
50.
Oh, wow.
Over 50 minutes during this altercation.
I didn't know that. I would have sworn it was 15, 20 minutes.
50. What I'm trying to get at is that y'all are really not officially back together yet, right? No.
No.
Okay, no, you were not. And for you to take it upon yourself to be ordering somebody out of somebody else's house while you're working in a place that you really have no business being because you weren't patrolling your beat, I'm just trying to see where you're coming from, and I don't get it.
Was it more of a, you say emotions probably play a part in it. Is it more like, this is my man, or this was my man?
That never came out. Like I said, I did not tell her who I was. It was just...
I'm saying within you was like, I know she's not over here, and my man or me and him just broke up, and she over here now. And could that have maybe influenced you to kind of tell her she needed to kick rocks?
Probably, yeah, because it was more, I believed him. I honestly, based on the friendship that he and I had prior to him expressing interest, based on the relationship that we had, I really did not think, I'm not naive or that dumb, but I really did not think that Wesley would have lied to me the way he did when he told me last week. I was thinking about what you said, I miss you, and I want, I'm trying to, make right by it. So when he told me he spoke to her over the phone, like I asked him, I believe that. But when I saw her there, it was like, why is she... And I'm like, it's blatantly obvious she's been here. And I questioned him. I was like, well, how did she know where your bedroom was? I've only been here just to see the apartment when you first got it. Today's my first day coming, and I'm using the bathroom, and I had to ask him which bathroom to use. So how did she just go directly back there? So yeah, of course emotions were involved, but maybe I should have just left. But at the time, it was just like, he's telling me he told her to leave, she won't leave. And I stepped in, tried to de-escalate, figured, okay, I'm here on duty.
Maybe you ought to call out there and ask for backup?
No, it didn't come to my mind. I just thought it was just going to be, okay, that's between him and her. An argument ensued. That happened. Maybe it's just going to... I'm not doing anything about it. He said he wasn't going to do anything about it. I just left it alone, which I shouldn't have. But I did talk to somebody. I was thinking to do it, but I just didn't.
Who did you talk to?
Oh, a personal friend of mine.
Nobody with anything up here?
When he called you this morning, when I called him this morning, and you woke up and told you that her sister called him and told him that she was on press charge or whatever, did you think that maybe you could call one of us and say, hey, look, this might be an issue?
Yes. From the time when...
Why didn't you?
Because he and I were on the phone talking, and then I called somebody else to get advice, and then next thing I know, he called me and said he had to come into... It was just like the time frame, like I was going to, but it was just like, okay, how do we handle this?
That was something that you should have thought about last night, not the day after, when, he's been called up here to talk to, or when somebody says that they're going to press charges. If you were really innocent in my mind, and that you didn't do anything wrong, you would have told on yourself last night to your supervisors and told them what happened so you could be the first to get your story in. You know what I mean?
I just figured I'm an honest person. I honestly was not thinking. I'm sorry. I just figured, okay, this, from what I saw, she was just bugged out. I mean, he told me he didn't talk to her for the night. She didn't call him. I took a couple of hours before I even called him back and spoke to him. I mean, it was just...
So let me get this straight. When she was coming towards you, you took your hand and pushed her back. And it could have caught her in the throat area. You're not sure.
Yeah, but I did not choke her or grab her or none of that.
I'm not talking about with 2 hands. I'm talking about with 1 hand.
No, I pushed her off because I had her with this hand and I pushed her off.
So you were holding her with 1 hand. You were holding her arm with your left hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just did like this and, to get her away from me.
Okay, how could she get away from you if you're holding her with 1 arm?
No, I wasn't like holding her like this, but when when her arm was coming at me, instinctively I grabbed it and just pushed her like that.
Oh, and you let go with both
hands?
hands?
Yeah. No, I wasn't like holding her and no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So it could have caught her in the throat area. You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And you could have put your hand on your weapon. You're not sure.
And instinctively, I always, even when I go on any kind of call, I always tend to do this. That's just a force of habit.
You need to get away from that. It's very intimidating to people. You don't need to be, it's kind of threatening. You're standing there talking to somebody and you got your hand on your gun. That's threatening.
No, I didn't have my hand on my gun. When she was there talking to him.
I just ask you, did you put your hand on your weapon while it was in the holster?
Not holding it. I did like this. I didn't grab the gun and hold it in any way to pull it out on her. When she threatened to pepper spray me, when I was just standing there at the door, I was just standing there. I was looking down. She and he were talking back and forth. He told her, basically let her know there is no me and you. There hasn't been. She got upset. She's going to walk out and she said, I'll pepper spray you, bitch, and does like this. She had like keys or something.
How far away was she from you?
Ooh. I was probably there. She was probably about where I am right now.
Okay.
It's a very, you have to see the apartment. It's like a square. She was like at the end of the square on the carpet. Yeah, so.
And it did not occur to you to place her under arrest for assault on a police officer?
I did, but I didn't. It did occur to me, yes. But no, I just wanted to leave it alone.
Okay.
You spoke with Lieutenant Pollard.
Yeah.
Did he have you do a voice raise?
I'll do it.
I said,
did he do it? No.
Okay. I'm just curious if he done that.
All right. I think that concludes our interview.
This concludes our discussion. The time is now 4:01 p.m.